is making punch. For every 3 cups of juice, he adds 6 cups of seltzer. Graph this relationship. Is there a proportional relationship between cups of juice and the cups of seltzer? And explain. So, first step, we read through it. We know that there are 2 quantities. There are juice and seltzer. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label this x-axis is going to be my juice, and this y-axis is going to be my seltzer. Okay? All right? So that's my first step. I just label my 2 axes. Next, here's what I know. I know that I have 3 cups of juice and for every 6 cups of seltzer. So I know my juice has to include 3 and my seltzer has to include 6. So I think my juice, I'm going to go by ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I just went 8 just because I was there. Okay, excuse me. Now my seltzer has 6, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go by 2s. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and I'll stop at 12. Okay, so first step, I labeled my axes. Next step, I wrote my intervals in. Finally, I'm going to plot the points. I know there's 3 cups of juice for 6 cups of seltzer. This is an ordered pair. So 3 cups of juice for 6 cups of seltzer. Now watch this. If I double both of these, I would get 6 cups of juice for 12 cups of seltzer. So let's graph that. 6 cups is here, 12 cups is here. And that's where that dot goes. Now, to the best of my ability, because I know you guys don't have rulers at home, but I have a ruler here. I am going to play connect the dots, and I'll tell you why I'm doing that here in a second. Whoops, sorry, I'm a little off. Hold on just a minute. You're out there. Okay, sorry, ignore that first one. There it is. Now it says, is there a proportional relationship? Well, we have to find 2 things, right? The first thing that we have to look for, does it cross at 0, 0? Well, 0, 0 is right here. And yes, it does. But what does that mean? It means that we have, remember, okay, I don't want you guys typing in the chat room or unmuting yourselves right now because of the fact that I'm recording. So 0, 0 means 0 cups of juice means 0, we need 0 cups of seltzer. Okay, all right. So if we don't have any juice, we don't need any seltzer, right? Now, the second thing that we have to prove, is it a straight line? All right, well, looks pretty straight to me, except for the first thing. And here's why. My constant is the same. I have a constant. Okay, and if you look, I always start with 1 and go up, and it looks like for every 1 cup of juice, I need, oops, sorry, I need 2 cups of seltzer. Okay, because this would be 2 over 1. This is 4 over 2. That was 3 over 6. This one way up here is 12 over 3 over 6 over 12, 12 over 6. They all reduce down to 2. So yes, they are proportional. Okay, and my reasoning, my explanation is right there. Okay. A potter buys clay by the weight. The graph shows the relationship between weight and the cost of clay. Is there a proportional relationship between the weight and the cost of clay? Explain your answer. So remember, we're looking for two things. Does it cross through 0, 0? And is it a straight line? So let's start with 0, 0. Yep, look it right there. Okay, so right now we know that's a yes. Next thing that we look for, is this a straight line? Yes, it is. That's a straight line. Now, to explain it, here's what we would say. Yes, they are proportional. Okay, because, so here's my explanation. Okay, it costs $0 for 0 pounds of clay. Okay, we know that. That's our 0, 0. Now, here's the harder part. To prove that it's a straight line, we have to find the constant. And I've been telling you guys, you always go to 1 and find out where that's at. But our 1, if we go over to our cost, it doesn't give us an exact amount. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to find a better intercepting point. So a better intercepting point means like this dot right there. And when I say it's a good intercepting point, because it's right where an X value and a Y value overlap. Okay, and so what we know is that that coordinate or that spot is $20 for 8 pounds of clay. Now remember, how do you find the unit rate or the constant? You divide. So we would go 20 divided by 8. And it comes out to be $2.50 for every 1 pound. And that's what we put in here. Okay. Also, the constant is the same. $2.50 for 1 pound of clay. Okay. All righty. So that's how, this is how we really quick. So this is my quick check, right? To see if they're proportional by looking at 0, 0 and seeing if it's a straight line. That's my quick check. But then I go way more in depth in explaining what 0, 0 really, really means. Okay, why it's a straight line. Okay, all right. Next, what does the 0.5, 12.5 mean in this situation? So remember, this 5 comes from the x-axis. The 12.5 comes from the y-axis because that's how you graph coordinates. So that point would be right here, 5, 12.5. It's right here. So the 5 comes from pounds of clay. So 5 pounds of clay costs, because the 12.5 came from the cost, $12.50. So that is what that point means. Okay, next problem. The graph shows the height h in inches of a plant after d days. Which equation can you use to represent the situation? All right. So remember, when we have equations, okay, a typical equation is like y equals some number x, right? That's what our equations have been. And if you remember even more, the number that fills in this is actually our constant. Okay? So our constant, aka unit rate, goes right in front of the x. So with that being said, excuse me, we have to, first of all, let's call this down here our days, and let's call this up here our height. We have to find our constant. So to find our constant, we have to find good intercepting points. Because if you look, here's where 1 would be right here, and we don't know what that number over there is, so we can't use it. 2 and 2 is right here. The line doesn't even go through that. So 4, I don't know where that would be. Oh, but look at here. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, that's a good intercepting point. And that intercepting point is 6 days, 6 days, and it's 4 inches. Does everybody see that? So the coordinate would be 6, 4. Okay. Now, if you look, all of these are solving for height, right? So let's write out a ratio. Height over days. So my height is 4 and my days is 6. There is my ratio. Now remember, what do you do to find the unit rate, aka constant? We would divide these. So 4 divided by comes out to be, actually better yet, let's reduce this. What's a number that goes into 4 and 6? 2.
2.
Okay, remember, you have to keep your mics on right now because I'm recording. All right, so this, we're going to divide it by 2 and we get 2/3. So that means, what this 2/3 means is that for every 2/3 of a height is 1 day. So every 1 day it grows 2/3 of a height. So if we go over here, which one would it be? It would be D. Our height is 2/3 times our days. Okay. Well, unfortunately, Umi chose C. How she might have gotten this answer, what she probably did is she probably compared days to height. Okay, because if you did that, that would flip these over. All right, let's take a peek at number 4. The graph shows the relationship between distance Amelia can drive on her car and the amount of gas she needs. How much gas will Amelia need for a trip of 125 miles? All right, well, unfortunately, this doesn't go up to 125, does it? Nope, it doesn't. But what we can find is we can find the unit rate, aka constant. And to find the unit rate, AKA constant, we go to 1. There's 1. We're going to go up 1 until it hits the line. There it is. It hits the line at that spot. So if I go over to find out how many miles 1 gallon of gas will give us, it's 25. So we found out that 25 miles, it takes 1 gallon of gas. Okay. All right. So that is my unit rate. Now we go back to what we learned in like lesson 2. We're going to create a proportion. We need to find out how many gallons it is for 125 miles, right? Well, 25 times 5 is 125. So 1 times 5 is 5. So Amelia needs 5 gallons of gas. So again, to recap, okay, I knew I didn't have 125 on my distance. So what I did is I found my unit rate, and luckily one had a good intercepting point, and then I set up a proportion. Okay. All right. Number 5, please pay attention to this. You will have a problem like this to do on your quiz. Number 5, each line represents a proportional relationship. Write an equation for each line. So we're going to write 2 equations, okay? Now remember what we already discussed. Equations are going to look like this, where it's going to be y equals the constant times x. So what we have to do is we have to find the constant for both lines. So let's start with line A. All right, line A. Oh, shoot, look at this. If I went to 1 and go up, I really don't know where that's at. So I'm going to go to the next one and look at this. There it is. This is a good intercepting point. All right. So be careful. We are not doing x over y. No, you're not doing 2 over 1. That's not how we find the constant. The constant is y divided by x. So if you look at this, this 2 is your x value. So 2 is on bottom and it goes to y, which is 1. So my constant is 1/2. So my equation is y equals 1/2 times x. So that's the equation that goes with line A. And what that means is that basically we go up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2 every single time. Line B. Line B. All right. So again, we're going to find the constant. Well, here's 1. Let's go up. Oh, yay for us. Look at that. It's a good spot. So my y over x, my y value is 2. My x value is 1. Okay, so my constant is 2 over 1, which is 2 basically. So my equation is y equals 2x. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So take a look at this. We have 2 lines. We have line A, which is this line right here. Here's line A. And then we have line B right there. All right, so we got 2 of them. Now let's discuss both of them before we answer anything over here. Looking at them, first of all, we both know they're both straight lines. Okay, we know that. However, Line A is the only one that goes through 0, 0. All right, so line A is going to be proportional. Okay, line B is not proportional. Okay, we can figure that out. Okay, now that we have that at least set in our brains, let's go through and answer these questions. Line A shows a proportional relationship. Yep, we just discussed that because it goes through 0, 0 and it's a straight line. So that is true. Okay, B. Line B shows a proportional relationship. Well, we already discussed that. It's not proportional because it crosses the y-axis at 1. So that is not proportional. Okay. A. Constant of proportionality for line A is 2. Well, let's look. Here's line A. We go to where the 1 is at, and if we go up, all right, and go over, that would be 1 over 1. 1 over 1 is 1, not 2. So that is false. Okay. D, neither line includes a point that represents the ratio of 4 to 3. This is a big one. When we do a ratio of 4 to 3, this is my y value, okay, and this is my x value. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to 4, 3, which as a coordinate is 3, 4. So 3, 4 is right here. And look at that. Okay, this would be false because line B does have a point, that has that ratio. So that is false. Okay. All right, and the last one we're going to talk about today is this. The equation for, oh, no, wait, what one was it? It was, number 7. The equation for a proportional relationship is y equals 5.8x. The graph of the relationship passes through the point 1, 5.8. That represents the constant. Okay, AKA unit rate, right? But remember, whatever number is in front of your x is the constant of proportionality. And like we found on any of the graphs that we have done today, like A, that when 1 is here, this right here represents the constant of proportionality. Okay, constant, AKA unit rate. All right, so just a second.